Well, welcome everybody to the post-service Commons experience. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Tony Murrow, and I'm joined today by some friends. Say hello, friends. Hello. This Vanessa Makihele and Michael Warren. Vanessa leads our ministry specifically to families, family ministry, and that is Michael's old job. Michael used to do that job, and now he is the pastor of community life and care. And so great message from Lance today, reminding us of the many benefits of following God. And yeah, I mean, sometimes that doesn't sound like all that holy, right? You're not supposed to be following him for his many benefits, but he does have many, many tremendous benefits. And I think that's how all of us come in the door, right? We all show up for the first time because of his many benefits. So we want to focus specifically today on one of those benefits, and Lance talked about it a little bit there in the center, which is the benefit that following God has on a family legacy and on, the shape of a family over generations. So yeah, we did family camp this past week. Michael, give us kind of a flyover. What was the purpose of family camp, and what do we do?
Take a step back from, the chaos of the season that we're going through just as a community, and just the normal routines I think that we're in as families, especially if you have kids, just kind of being at home and kind of working on all the things, just gave us an opportunity to kind of step away and to think about what is God's design for family? What is the vision that God had in mind when he put together this thing called family? And kind of how are we doing engaging that vision? And what does it look like for me and for my family to step into all of the things that God has for us? And it was great because we had about 22 families gathered there and talk about different families. I mean, just all different kinds. I mean, God makes each family recipe different, period. But to be with a bunch of families and to be talking about vision and how has God designed this family and what are the gifts that we have and how does he have us on mission, and to look at one another, it was pretty neat to see God's creativity and diversity in how he's put families together. So getting away, thinking about family vision and what does it mean and how do we step into it, and fun. So much fun. We were just talking about this. There were games that we played and things that we did where a 4-year-old and a 40-year-old could be in the same space and having a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, and they're both like competing hard.
Right?
Competing hard, yeah.
Yeah, we do have some videos of Michael.
We do?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We got you playing Gaga Ball, bro.
There was this little girl at one point, and I had almost trucked her over, and I thought, if this 200-something pound 40-year-old lands on that little 4-year-old. Anyway, Gaga Ball, if you don't know what it is.
Thank you, Pastor.
I feel like she won that round, too.
Yeah, I stepped out and said, I'm break time.
So we kicked off the week with a message from Eric Knight, one of the pastors here. He's joined us in the Commons before, and Eric was just talking about how family is part of God's design for how he built the world and how he reaches the world and how he fills it with justice and righteousness and love, right? Vanessa, it's hard to think of anybody at ChangePoint who's better connected to families than you are. What we all know there's been unique challenges and unique stuff. What are you hearing from the families at ChangePoint in this season?
I think a lot of families, there's a lot going on with us not being able to meet together as one thing in person, our Adventureland kids not being able to be around each other. That was one of the cool things about family camp, was especially during this season, having an opportunity where all these kids could come together and just hang out and be kids and enjoy time together. It was really great. Another thing right now that I think is weighing heavy on a lot of minds of families is next year's school year.
Yeah.
And so that's a heavy and big topic for our families. And I think especially right now, just deciding what's going to happen because it's coming up. It's already August and school starts soon.
Yeah, there's all kinds of rethinking. That's all my social media feeds are full of people rethinking this stuff and, what does it mean? And we homeschooled for the last few years and then chose this year to put our kids in public school. Yeah. Perfect timing. Perfect time to put your kids.
I remember Kristen saying that.
So anyway, we're also rethinking and reevaluating everything. So those are complex situations. what are some of the we learned this week that we're going back into a 4-week reset, right?
Right.
So, the good news is we're a little bit better at this now. Like, we kind of
Yeah.
have more of our systems. Like, when this happened in March, it was very like, okay, so how do
Yeah.
I get basic supplies? I think we're a little bit better at it now.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's rushing to Costco to take all the toilet paper.
Well,
No, thank you. Please, if you're watching right
Maybe.
now,
there's quite
you
the line
have
yesterday,
plenty.
friends.
You don't need to.
You just get the normal amount. You're just going to keep using the normal amount, and that'll be totally fine on your normal schedule. Anyway, public service announcement from
PSA,
Change Point,
yes.
Change Point pastoral staff. Anyway, but thinking about this whole thing, going back to online-only worship services and all that, it's been a weird season for just being disconnected. I have been thinking, and as I've been praying, it's just been impressed upon me the importance of redeeming this time.
Yes,
and
that's really
Yeah.
making it worth something, right? There was this old sermon that I heard here, like, I don't know, a really long time ago. And the illustration, I still remember, it was good. It was like if you're in a big river, like the Yukon or like a big Alaska river, and you're in your boat and you're going upstream and you cut the power. You might feel like you're not really moving because it's that big, wide river and you can't see the edge moving, but you are moving very quickly downstream, right? So there is no like hanging out. Like you're either motoring upstream or you're going downstream. And the point was that like we are either walking toward God or we are drifting away from God. There's no just like hanging out for a 4-week reset and
Yeah.
being
No,
exactly
this
where you
is-
were.
This
right?
is really good.
That's so good.
No, this is really good. And we talked about this at camp.
Yeah.
There was this illustration that was done during one of the teachings, and it's basically count the number of weeks that you have.
Mm-hmm.
That was you.
And the,
Okay, that was Vanessa.
so
That was
Vanessa,
Vanessa's talk.
so Vanessa gets up there to teach, and she's got these what are they like crafty little glass little beady
Marbles.
thing?
They were marbles.
It's marbles.
Sorry, marbles.
They're
And
called
each-
marbles, those
So,
crafty little
Vanessa,
beady things.
It's your illustration. What was the illustration?
Thank you.
The
Yeah,
illustration
please.
I had 936 marbles in glass jars that illustrated how many weeks we have with our children from birth until they graduate, and it's about counting the cost and how every week is important. Because we're losing a week every single week that goes by. Take one of those marbles out, and just as we disciple our kids to count the cost.
Yeah.
So she starts out this thing, and she's got these 2 beakers next to each other, and one's like half full, and one's like a quarter full, and it feels okay. And you're like, okay, 936. And then she pulls out from behind it. She's like, this is how many weeks I have left with my Gideon. Gideon is like this tall.
He's
like,
10 years
yeah,
old.
he's
Yeah.
not a big kid. He's like, this is how many I have left. It's like 1/4 of one beaker, and all the parents are like, "Wah!" Anyway.
Yeah.
But seriously, there's an intentionality there, right?
No, that's good. And that was the word all weekend long. People were like, so what are your takeaways? What are you thinking? And the word intentionality. And here's what's cool about the marbles. You also walked us through an extended illustration that reminded us that if you're feeling like you're in the 4th quarter of the football game, right? For those of you who don't know football, 4th quarter it's the end. It's the end of the game.
It's the end.
It's often in the 4th quarter where the magic happens.
Yeah.
Where there's, okay, well, the clock is ticking down. There's some urgency here. We've got some goals to accomplish if we want to kind of win this thing.
Yeah.
And it brings out something in everybody. The people that are participating,
Yeah.
the people that are watching. And so if you're feeling the weight of the marbles going down in terms of the weeks left, that might not be a bad thing.
Yeah, and it's
that a lot
not
of
too
times
late.
when we're in the 4th quarter, that's where the magic happens, and that's where sometimes we're able to draw deepest from our best, and not for nothing, with the Spirit of God on our side
Yeah.
to fill us with creativity and the how-to. It's a good thing.
Yeah,
So-
totally.
Yeah, so we know we're gonna have a 4-week reset here.
Yes,
we
this
know
is good.
that
Go there, Tom.
we know that means that worship services are going back to online only.
Yeah.
Most people have remained online throughout the duration, right? So
Yeah.
we regathered for in-person worship services on July 12th here at Raspberry. Takatnu regathered today. They got 1 week.
Yeah, let's go to Takatnu.
so
That's
did,
awesome.
So did Matsu. Matsu regathered today, and they did theirs in their new building. So we're going to be bringing you that whole story in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I
but
wanna hear that one.
They just
yeah.
started. They
Matsu,
just started
yeah, they're
5
doing-
minutes ago.
Oh, God bless.
So Matsu is in their new spot, new building, and normally we had not anticipated buying a building. The reason that you rent a school building is because it's much more affordable to rent a school building building than to buy and maintain a church building, right?
Yeah.
But because God is this way with Change Point for whatever
God
reason.
math. A little bit of God math
Yeah,
going
because,
on.
because God math, we ended up in a place that's going to cost us significantly less to buy than it was just to rent the school. And it's a full church building. It was a
Recently updated,
yeah.
comes with everything. They
Yeah.
have their own kids area. I mean,
they
it's
left their
totally a God
chairs.
thing.
They
Like
left the
outbuildings.
speakers. They're like,
The valley,
oh, yeah.
they got outbuildings. They got other buildings.
Yeah.
And they're like,
There's
just-
even a foundation laid to expand the building. I mean, it's just set up so well and perfect for them.
Anyway, so we digress. This is congratulations to Matsu. We're very happy for you guys, But the rest of us are going back into a 4-week reset. So
The rest of us hunker back down.
yeah. So when we did the phone calls, right? We
Yeah.
made how many phone calls? I don't know. Thousands. We made thousands of phone calls.
Thousands of phone calls.
Thousands of phone calls. And we heard every story, right? I heard people who I love and care about and know saying, wow, this has been such a wonderful time for my family. And
Yeah.
we've just been getting closer together. And I'm doing puzzles with my daughter every
Yeah.
night.
Right.
And I also heard, this has been getting worse and worse and worse. I feel like I'm stuck inside of an Instant Pot with, and like the pressure and the heat just keeps going up and up and up and up. And I don't know how much more I'm going to take. And so I thought we could talk through, if we're going into another 4-week reset, what are some things that you guys would say pastorally to people to make that dividing line? What makes a good 4-week reset versus a difficult 4-week reset?
I think one of the things that I would recommend is stay connected. We need to stay connected to one another, whether it's with your community group or whether it's online or with our friends and family, not to isolate. I think that's going to be an important part of no matter what it is, just making sure that you're connected to someone so that you can check in and so that you have interaction with other humans where, you know what I mean? I think that's going to be a big thing is just remember to stay connected to your people.
It's hard to initiate, I think, to make plans in general. What I've discovered is if it's not on the calendar, it won't happen. And so practically, what does that mean? It means send a text. But pray, and ask God, who is it that we might kind of maybe get connected to this week? How would you have us do that? Make a text, send a text, make a call, and reach out and see if you could not be isolated this week. Of course, do it in a way that's safe, that you feel comfortable with. I often think with kids, one of the best ways to get families together with kids without having to clean the house is to just go to a park.
Yeah. And that's something I think
Bring
is so
dinner,
important.
Go to a park, have a meal together.
This is very different from the first time around. We can still gather with people. It's just 15 people or less. So it's not like we're just, stay home and everyone kind of really hunker down. We can still gather with people. And so still do those things. Just be smart and safe about it.
Yeah, so the mayor's asking us to focus on kind of a select group of people. Choose your people and stick there, right?
Yeah.
A life group is a fantastic way to have those people. We know that. What are the numbers? How many people at Change Point are already in a life group? Do we have any idea, like percentage wise?
I
It's
don't
like
have
a
that
third,
number.
like
Yeah.
half or something. I don't
Lots
know.
and lots.
So, but there's also a lot who are not. So, and there's this balance, this tension between making it easy for people to get into life groups and like bombarding life group leaders with new people in the middle of what they're doing, right? So, you're the pastor of community life. Could you explain this to us? And life groups at Change Point, what's the dealio?
Yeah. So, an awkward season to be introducing new people to new people and to be making new groups. It's just a lot in terms of the human management. But here's what I'll say. There are groups that are meeting online. There are places for you to connect online like this week. And you can connect with those groups at ChangePoint Go, which is changepointalaska.com/go. You'll see a listing of opportunities there. A lot of them are online. The second thing that we would do is we would encourage you to connect to your Right Now Media account, okay? So there are amazing Bible teachers in our world, and there have been amazing Bible teachers in our world, and there will be amazing Bible teachers in our world. Right Now Media is the one place where so much of the good stuff is collected, okay? It's like a Netflix account, but it's all Christian content the moment that I got connected to the account, I did some test searches. I'm like, I wonder
I did
if
the same
Moody,
thing.
if those old Moody Science videos are on there from the 50s. Sure enough, there they are, right? I wonder if, they've got all of the kind of VeggieTales, Phil Vischer Bible studies that are on there. And I mean, not the VeggieTale movies, but the studies that kind of take the kids through the books of the Bible. It's there. It's so much of it is there. And I just wonder if this is a season where we're using media, let's just be honest, we're binging something, right?
We are
Yes,
binging
we
something.
are.
I would say binge Jesus, right? And you can binge Jesus through Right Now Media.
That's really good.
Another old sermon I heard, the premise was what you feed grows.
There you
right?
go.
Whatever you feed grows. And I think that's certainly been true for me during this season. I will just confess to you guys, I will confess to all of you, throughout this whole thing, I've had like sweeping waves of fear and anxiety that like just take over me for, I don't know, 10 hours over this whole thing.
Oh, gosh.
Like I'll just have like this, I'm going along, I'm totally fine. And then I'm just,
Panic mode.
panic mode, what are we gonna do kind of thing, and I've noticed a connection between that and sitting online reading articles about how everything's exploding, and I realizing like I'm feeding this, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
sitting here, I'm scrolling, I'm feeding this, like be afraid, and it's growing. I'm feeding it and it's growing. So as I was listening to you talk about Right Now Media is an opportunity for us to feed our faith instead of our fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even think about like the family camp and being away for all those days and having very limited to no internet access, or being so busy with all the fun things that we're doing that no one was on their phones. There were no teens on their phones. The parents weren't on their phones. We had no idea what was going on in the world, and it was okay.
That was like a miracle of the Holy Spirit by itself. Like all the teenagers, there's no phones, there's no
Yeah,
internet. It was amazing.
engaging. I mean, having fun. It was great.
Being normal is great.
Yeah,
Normal, our normal.
I think it's also important to acknowledge that there are people. I mean, I think we talked about this right when we went into lockdown. There are people that are not okay right now, and there are I don't know. I just think of all the different personality types. Like there are
Yeah.
some personality types where not being around others is not a comfortable place to be. There are couples I know that in your homes it's getting chaotic, and it might not be getting better. It might be on a trajectory where you really just can't break the trajectory that you're in, and it's not a good one. And we just want you to know that we're here for you as a church. What do I mean by that? What I mean is every day that we're open between Tuesday and Thursday, there is a pastor on call. You can make an appointment. You could come in. We are ready to pray with you. We are ready to talk to you. We don't have a plan for your life, for your marriage, for your crisis, but God does. And one of the roles of a pastor is to help people get connected to the one who has the plan. And a lot of times when you allow people to be part of your story, especially when things are not okay, it's the one step that you can take to kind of break the trajectory, to push the pause button, and to get going on the other way. So yeah, great resources out there. We want you to binge Jesus. We want you to find organic ways to get together that you're comfortable and safe with. But if you're not okay, you need to know that we're here for you. And so be courageous in reaching out and letting somebody know.
That's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just go real quick over like ways to contact us. So
That's good.
You can write us a message on any platform: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah.
Vanessa and I are both in there. Like we respond to everybody. We'll talk to everybody. So if you write us a message, we are absolutely available. Second thing, we have an email address set up specifically that goes to pastors. It is communitylife@changepointalaska.com. communitylife@changepointalaska.com. And we check that thing all the time.
All day.
Yeah, legitimately, if you need help, if you're in a bad situation, even if the situation isn't that bad, but it's
Yeah.
trending bad, there is no shame in this. I personally did this, 24 times from the time I came to faith in Christ to the time I came on staff as a pastor, and I continue to do it. Eric Knight is with us in the comments. He's my pastor. So it is completely reasonable and acceptable and normal part of the Christian faith. If something starts to tweak or whatever, reach out. Do not be a stranger. Just because there isn't a worship service, like the church is completely 100% here.
Yeah, and if you have questions, like we get a ton of questions every week through our Facebook page, ask them.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we want to be able to walk that. We're walking this together and navigating this together. And so ask all the questions. Pastors are available all the time. And so we're still family. We're just, for the next 4 weeks, it's going to look a little bit different.
It's going to look different.
It is. So let's talk about, we've been talking about the virtues of Right Now Media. Let's talk about how to get in there if you haven't gotten in there yet. So if you have not
So easy.
gotten into your Right Now Media account, the church pays for this for everybody. All the members of the church, the organization pays for them to have Right Now Media. So if you have not accessed your Right Now Media subscription, you just need to sign up. And there's easy ways to do that. We have a link available on ChangePoint Go at changepointalaska.com/go. It's also on the quick links of the ChangePoint app today. So if you just open up the ChangePoint app, it's like the third thing down, sign up for Right Now Media. Tap that, it'll take you straight there. You can sign up for Right Now Media. Yeah, it is easy. Also, if you can't remember what it is later, email us. Again, email
Yeah.
communitylife at
that email,
changepointalaska.com.
communitylife at changepointalaska.com. But basically, I'm going to email you back a link, and you're going to click it. You're going to sign up, and then you're going to email me back, and you're going to say, that was so easy.
That was so easy.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
and they have apps. So it's just like any other normal app, like Amazon or Netflix or whatever. So I have it on my TV. I have one of those TCL Roku TVs from Walmart.
Yeah.
And it's got the Right Now Media app on it, and I've got it on my phone. So, I was, there were some African-American preachers on there talking about racial justice and reconciliation from different perspectives. That's a concept that it was not a big part of my study, became a big part of the national conversation. I'm trying to learn fast. All the last couple weeks, I've had that on just as like a podcast.
Yeah.
I'll have it on my phone app, turn it on, just, okay, we're going to listen to this guy's perspective now, this person's
that's good.
perspective now, and just, put my headphones in and mow the grass. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we come to these portals of available information with a certain bent, I think.
Yeah.
Some of us are like, no, I want to study the books of the Bible, and I want to study them this way. It's like, yeah,
And you can.
There's a study on there.
There's a study
Or
on that.
I'm very, very much interested in apologetics and defending my faith and being prepared to give an answer.
They have
There's
that.
a lot on
Right,
that.
stuff
Yeah.
for kids. Sometimes you just want the kids to watch a good, wholesome movie where you don't need to worry about
Content.
Yeah, what's going to happen in minute 42,
Yeah.
right? So and again, whatever you bring yourself to this portal, and I think with very minimal amount of searching, you're going to find a way to binge Jesus in this season that works for you.
Or on the kid thing, let's be completely honest here, okay? Like, kids are home a lot more now than they were previously.
Yeah.
And I know we post to social media about all the, wonderful puzzle-type activities that we do with our kids. But let's get real here. Sometimes you just put them in front of the TV and let it play.
Yeah.
And watch next. If you're going to watch next, do it on McGee and Me.
Yeah.
Right? Do it on...
McGee and Me.
Oh my
Come
gosh.
on. It's
when
on there.
When we first
He and
logged
Me is
in,
on there. You don't know what we're talking about. Just watch one
need to-
episode.
yeah,
and you'll know.
open your
thumbs up,
mind.
thumbs down. But
Open your
McGee and Me is classic.
McGee and Me, when we first logged into Right Now Media, my college kids were looking up Bible Man. They were like, little boys, you have to watch Bible Man. And so they watched Bible Man.
That's great.
It's really cool.
And that's the thing. This content, this is not stuff that I would ever go out and buy a Blu-ray of, right? Like, I'm not going to be on Amazon like McGee and Me box set seasons 2 through 5, right? Like, that's probably not going to happen. But if it's included in the Right Now Media thing, and I need to,
Quality stuff, man.
I'm
It's
putting
like
a couple of little kids in front of the TV for an hour, like, absolutely learn
Yeah.
about Jesus. That's totally
true.
fine.
Now, on the Adventureland side, we do have the kids' Bible lessons that are going to be posted every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock and 9:05. But that's just when it premieres. It'll be available whenever you guys want to watch it. But yeah, their weekly Bible lesson is also available through our Facebook page.
Is that
and on
different?
ChangePoint Go.
Yeah, is that different than what we've been doing throughout COVID? Or are you talking
Nope,
about,
it's the same thing.
Okay.
Just a reminder to families that it's there. We have switched curriculum and are going with orange now, but other than that, it's still the same.
Yeah, so real practically, I used to think that family time, if you were going to have family time and study the Bible, that we all had to dress up, sit around a piano with chairs and have hymnals and sing in 4-part harmony. It's not like that.
No.
I've tried it. It doesn't work. It didn't, well, maybe for something. It didn't work for us. What Vanessa is talking about are quality, engaging videos for kids with a couple of questions. So think about, how does this play out? Stay at the dinner table. Bring your laptop to the dinner table. Maybe eat first. Maybe do it while you're eating. I don't
Yeah.
know. Watch the video. Ask a couple questions and say a prayer. Absolutely, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of this, just bringing Jesus, bring the kingdom into your home, and just trying to build some cool habits around that. I don't know. Go for it.
Yeah, it's a cool discipline to develop with your children about being in the Word. That's a fun way. Right now, media is another great way. I mean, there's a lot of little things that we can implement into our lives that will keep our eyes focused on Jesus during this time where it can be easily distracted by other things.
Yeah, whatever you feed grows. I want to let you guys off the hook also. If your experience is anything like mine, kids don't like new stuff. Kids are just weirded out by anything new, right? Like, if you want any proof of this, just give them a new food, especially if it's, like,
Good example.
Green.
green or moist, right? Like any of those things, that's just gonna
No
be like,
one likes
whoa,
that word.
not gonna do it, not gonna do it. It's not going in my mouth. So that's kids. So I also had visions of delusions of grandeur that I'm gonna crack open my Bible and all my kids are gonna sit there
With the crackling fire.
with rapt attention, taking insights from the Word of God. And then, I actually do it. We get like 3 verses into John chapter 1. My 6-year-old's sitting upside down. He's got both fingers in his nose, and it just is what it is, right? So, but as you continue to do this stuff, if you make it a habit, like, hey, we pray before meals now. Hey, we do on Sunday nights before we do dinner, we do the kids lesson from Adventureland.
Or even starting with dinner. Hey, a new thing we're going to do is sit at the table for dinner.
Right, and you're going to get objections. It's going to be, well, why do we have to do this? I want to. It's okay. If you just keep doing it for a few times, they acclimate, and then it's like a whole thing. And if you get rid of it, it's like, what? Where's the prayer before dinner? It's just, they get locked onto the new normal. So it's okay if it doesn't work the first time. Just do it again.
Stick with it.
Yeah.
Stick with it.
Yeah, and I think again, we're going into this 4-week reset. It's an opportunity, and we'd love for you to grab it in Jesus' name, and ask Him, what Lord, how can we take this new hand that we've been dealt and play it well for your name. So,
Well, we are grateful for the technological tools that we have that are going to enable us to stay connected to the degree that we can stay connected through this whole thing.
Right.
I love the meme that's floating around that's like, what if this happened in 2001 or 2002, right? Like, you've got a Nokia phone with 100 text messages and dial-up internet.
Got a QWERTY keyboard.
Yeah, enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. No, so...
I don't even think those are out then.
Hey, I think it's so important, particularly on Sunday, particularly as we come into the presence of God, to enter His courts with thanksgiving, right?
Absolutely.
And be remembering the abundant blessings that He has blessed our church
all of
with.
His benefits.
Remember all of
true.
His benefits.
That's so true.
So we are just about out of time here. I want to give you, either one of you want final word, final floor, or you?
You got it, Michael.
No, come on. I'm
No, you're great. Look,
I've
you
done enough
even
talking.
came with notes. Come on, go. Michael, you're it. Tag, you're it.
Vanessa, you are the head of family ministry, and we are talking about
family camp because it was such a blessing. Yeah.
It really was.
You got any more nuggets in there that you want to share before I sign us off?
Oh goodness, I got plenty of them. I don't know. I would say be you, right? We're talking about some new things that you can do, some new ways, some new resources. Be you. Every family is different. And ask God, ask Him, God, what does it look like for us to bring the kingdom to our home? What does it look like for us to use this right now media? We have time now. How do you want us to use this? And if He is a God of love and wisdom and revelation and all of the things that we sing about that we know to be true about Him, you can trust that He's going to answer you. And so maybe a good first step for anybody who's listening right now, anybody who's listening and thinking, yeah, I kind of want some more of this stuff they're talking about, start with prayer. Ask the Lord and watch Him. Watch Him make His name famous and great in your life. Watch Him lead you in the paths of righteousness for His name's sake. To make His name famous in your life, in your family's life, and in your home. And don't underestimate the fact you are building a legacy. If you are surrounded by people, either in your immediate family or in your small group family or in whatever family God has put you in, because He's put you around people, right? Don't underestimate the work that God wants to do there and the legacy that you're getting to be a part of building, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You matter, Change Point family. Your choices
Yes, you
matter.
do.
The next 4 weeks matter. Your family matters. And here's what we want you to know. We love you.
Yes.
We're committed to you. And we are going to make it through this next 4-week reset. We believe that this is an invitation from God to deeper holiness and closeness with Him and with each other. God bless you, Change Point family. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday.